Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wealth Journey channel. Today we're going to talk about budgeting. Sometimes it's seen as a bit of a taboo subject. Sometimes it creates arguments in the household as people become frustrated with one another on how much should be spent on certain things or categories each month. Some people view that they just don't need to do it all and then wonder where all the money's gone at the end of the month. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I budget, as well as provide you with a free template you can download and use. But before we dive into the spreadsheet or template, I want to lay out 3 key principles that I myself like to follow. Firstly, you need to spend less than you earn. It sounds really simple, doesn't it? But until you do this, you'll never be able to sleep easy at night or progress towards having financial security. You'll always be wondering if you can afford that bill or holiday, or can pay off that credit card bill next month. It's not a healthy way to live. You need to spend less than you earn. Secondly, you need to slice your income or incomes into portions, which you can easily work out whether you're spending too much or too little in a certain area. Now, I want to quickly go back a couple of years and share a moment in my life in which I was spending nearly £1,000 a month on a car, a depreciating asset. Yeah, it was fast, yeah, it looked good, but ultimately it was not worth how much of my monthly income I was spending on it to me at the time. If I'd not had that car, I could have cut a full year off of my journey that I'm on right now, had I invested that money for the 2 years that I had the car. Thirdly and finally, you need to learn to understand that you should not be aiming to spend every penny you earn every month. So yes, you should try and work to a zero budget where everything is allocated, whether it be to bills, food, entertainment, a holiday fund, savings, or investing. But let's say you have a combined income of, let's go with £2,000 a month. You shouldn't see it as a challenge and target to go out of your way and spend it all just because it comes into your bank. You should learn to pay yourself first. Learn to delay gratification, as your older future self will thank you for it. Okay, so let's jump into the template, have a click about, and show you how it works and what it's intended to be used for. So let me explain what you'll see on the main page, the dashboard if you will. The top left will show you how much you've spent in each of the categories over the past 7 days, including today. So you can get a feel for if you've had a week with maybe a big food shop in it or a specific purchase maybe, which you can delve a little deeper and work out what it was. The right graph shows you this for the last full month. So as we're recording this partway through February, it'll show you all of January's entries. The middle panel or section has a couple of helpful bits of information in it for you. Firstly, on the left, based on the transaction you've put in, it'll show you how much you should have in your account right now. It'll then below that tell you when you should next go into the red or become overdrawn and by how much. And then below that, in the yellowy orange colour, is something to help you work out what you're spending on your 2 main categories, which you can customise or change, and I'll come on to that in about a minute's time. Over on the right hand side of this middle panel, you'll see some really helpful bits of information to help you understand what it is that you're really spending your money on. So it shows you what your biggest single spend was last month, to highlight if you've made any big purchases such as a car or a holiday maybe. It then shows you what your total outgoings and income were for the previous month, and therefore the net positive or negative cash flow position you were in for the month. Next up is that customizable area that I was talking about, where you can choose from the drop down 3 categories that you want to monitor specifically and see how much of your monthly outgoings you are spending on those areas. At the bottom, it shows you the next 6 months projected outlook based on the transactions you've put in. So how is all this populated? Well, at the bottom, if you click on the transactions tab, you can manually add and remove entries and it all calculates it from here. Now, when this loads up, it'll be pre-populated as I've populated this version to show you how it all looks in practice with dummy or example data. In this example, as I've mentioned before, it's a couple who bring home £1,000 a month after tax each, so £2,000 in total. In here they have a food shop of just over £200 a month. They have an Amazon Prime subscription. They have a car that they run, so they buy petrol for it. They rent a place for £500 a month, and this might be more in different areas, but I'm just using this as an example to paint a picture. They have an electricity bill, a water bill, broadband bill, and they also invest every month in stocks and shares, £250. There's also some other costs, like they buy new clothes each month, or they're going to plan on going on a holiday to Greece later in the year, and they're going to buy a new car. But all of these transactions filter through to that budgets graph. So let's say you download this file and are starting this afresh. The first thing you do is put in today's date and your opening balance that you have actually in your current account. Then further down, add transactions for what you know bills you've got going out each month, like your Amazon Prime, Netflix it might be, and all your monthly bills that you know about, and put in a rough figure for how much you think you spend on food each month. In this example, I've said that we have £500 in the bank as of opening the second row here. My advice is then to take 10 to 15 minutes each week and fill out this tool and review the next 6 months to see if there's any dips or anything you're going overdrawn on, to really identify where you're spending your money, where you're going to need to cut back, or where you've got extra money to invest or treat yourself, as it might be in a Christmas present or a birthday present, or just going out for a meal maybe. By doing this every 10-15 minutes each week, you should start to train yourself to see things in a more controlled way and get on top of your personal finances, and hopefully enable you to crack down on unwanted spend much easier. The link to the template file is in the description below. There's also a link to sign up to Freetrade, which will give you a free share worth anything between £3 to £200. I'll also get a free share too when you sign up, full disclosure. I do hope this has been interesting and helpful. If it has, please check out some of my other content. But until next time, stay safe.